Curious about how soon might be too soon in spending the night with a new guy? Want to know how to set a measured pace with a man to keep him interested long term? I've got all that coming up for you right now. Hey everybody, I'm dating and relationship coach Ryan Patrick, and here on this channel we travel to cool places and talk about the different types of ways you can crush your interactions with men. Now today I'm standing here at the Pont de la Mar in beautiful Valencia, Spain, which is a part of a long 16-kilometer park that runs the length of the city. Now if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel below, and if you find value in today's content, please drop a like below. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and it's just a great free way to support the channel. Now obviously today I want to be discussing the question, when is it too soon to be spending the night? But before I get into that, I want to take a quick poll. Now, in the previous months, I've opened up one-on-one Zoom sessions to previous students of mine from the Boyfriend Blueprint, and for those of you that have been on my newsletter. But I'm just curious about the greater YouTube community that we have here. Are you interested in one-on-one sessions, and are you interested in a $50 discount? Now, if the answer is yes to either of those two questions, just leave a comment below and say, "Give me 50, Ryan." That'll let me know that you're interested in one-on-one sessions with me and that you're interested in a $50 discount as well. After that, if you're interested in signing up for one-on-one Zoom sessions with me, just go to boyfriendblueprint.com/session and leave me your first name and best email address. That way, if we hit 250 comments that say, "Give me 50, Ryan," I'll email all of you with a discount code so you can get a one-on-one session with me. Now, on to today's content. When is it too soon to be spending the night? So you meet a new guy and things are going really well. Maybe he's taking you out on a couple dates, and now you know it's kind of coming up, there's that sexual tension that's there, and you want to know, okay, is it the right time to be going over to his house? Should I be inviting him over to my house? There's definitely a threshold that you're going to hit where there's going to be an insinuation, an implication where things are going to turn physical. So in this video, I want to discuss 6 things with you that I think are going to be really key to indicate to you whether or not it's too soon to be spending the night at a guy's house. So the first one right off the top, and I think should act as a red flag for most of you, unless of course you're just looking for a fling. Right now it is summertime, and if you're looking for a fling, that is 100% okay. If you're just looking for something physical, go out and get it, go have fun. But this is more for people that are looking for long-term types of situations with guys, long-term relationships. So the first one is he starts off sexual. So this could be something like him texting you or sexting you, and just getting a little, maybe even inappropriate through text. Or if you're out with a guy, if he's moving from casual flirting to heavy flirting to maybe some touching, and then just touching that is just kind of crossing your own boundaries in terms of the touching that's happening within your personal space, anything like that. There's just a heavy-handedness of sexual undertones right from the very beginning. And that's going to tell you that this guy is really only interested in the physical, he's only interested in sex. He's going to consciously let that be known to you early on because he's testing the waters. He wants to see if that's something that you'll go for quickly, okay? And if you take the bait and you have sex with him too quickly, just understand that if you do it too soon, he's going to lose interest in you pretty quickly. Unless the sex is absolutely amazing, he'll probably come back to you for more sex later on, but you never want a relationship starting off on the sexual foot because you'll usually get stuck in that gear moving forward. The second one is his approach is inconsistent. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I'm talking about this sort of hot cold, wishy-washy type of guy. Maybe he's really great on dates 1 and 2, initiating those texts with you, setting up the logistics for those dates with you and making sure the time and date are working well, and then you guys actually go out on those dates. Then you don't hear from him. So now you're dealing with a guy who's kind of lost his consistency, and he's lost the value he puts into the effort and the investment that he's making in you, because he's now taking his foot off off the gas pedal. We want to find a person, if we're interested in them, we want to find someone who's going to be consistent. Their follow through all the way through the courtship process is very consistent. You can sort of rely on about how long it's going to take for you to hear back from him when it comes to texting, or maybe he gives you a phone call. It's when he drops off the face of the map for days on end and you really have no indication of what's going on. That's when you need to kind of perk up and be a little leery of what the guy's intentions are. Again, we want that consistency. We want to be giving him feedback that we're enjoying the dates, we're enjoying the communication with him. And that's really all that's required of you to keep that consistency going on his end. If he's into you, he's going to keep that momentum and just keep that consistency going. And he's really going to have no problem with that whatsoever. Now, the third one is probably something that a lot of you have heard time and time again in my videos relating to sex with guys and getting physical with guys. And that is, it's less than 30. So a lot of you hear me talk about 30 days minimum, and that's an absolute minimum to make a guy wait to have sex with you, okay? And here's really the crucial element behind that, okay? Typically, if a guy is attracted to you and interested in you, he's gonna wanna have sex with you, and he's gonna wanna see how quickly he can have sex with you. Now, if you put a line in the sand, and again, last week we talked about setting boundaries with men, so if you haven't checked out that video, definitely go check out that one after you watch this one. But you need to put that line in the sand when a guy is making the moves, right? He invites you over to his house for dinner and says he's gonna cook for you. Well, his bedroom is close by in that circumstance, and it's gonna be a lot easier for you to fall into a situation where you're gonna have sex together, right? So the goal is to just not put yourself in that situation or those situations for at least a month, okay? If the guy is being consistent, again, that's something that we're looking for, and he's setting up dates with you consistently, and let's just say that you're going out on a date per week. That's gonna be about 4 to 6 dates that you would have had with this guy, minimum, before you even think about having sex with him. And what is this gonna do for the guy's psychology? Let me just tell you, there is nothing sexier than when a woman makes us wait to have sex with her. It's something that just gets us thinking about her nonstop, and it also gets us to be really introspective with ourselves about if we're doing everything right with that particular woman, or if there's ways that we can do things better, or just kind of put our behavior in check to make sure that we are leading down a path where a woman feels comfortable enough to have sex with us. So really, it's facilitating a mindset for the guy and for yourself that you're moving down a path that's working towards that, but it's not gonna happen for a while. It's something that's kind of put off in the distance, and you two will cross that bridge when you come to it. So just remember, no sex for 30 days minimum. Now the fourth one we just touched on. It's his place or nothing. So if you come in contact with a guy who's just not creative at all with setting up dates with you, and the only time he's really creative is in the different types of ways he's asking you to come over to his place, that's an immediate next, ladies. We need to let these guys go. It's gonna be like, oh, come over for coffee. What's your favorite meal? I'll cook for you. Why don't we watch a movie at my place? And he'll just go through that routine, and he's gonna tap out after about a half a dozen things, because there's only so many different things that you can do over at somebody's house before it's like, maybe we should do something else. Maybe we should go on a date that's in public. So his place or nothing, that's just something that I know it's easy to just say, oh, well, I'll go over to his place. But again, we need to keep safety and security in the forefront of our mind with guys that we don't know. Okay? It's just something that if you're not thinking about it consciously, it's all too easy to just say, okay, I'll go over to his place. So have that extra threshold, have that extra barrier in mind when a guy invites you over to his house, and that's all he's doing. He probably just wants to have sex with you. And if you have sex too soon with him and you don't have fling in mind with this particular guy, he's probably gonna disappear on you. So the fifth thing is, he isn't building trust. This is a tough one to decipher, especially if you're new to the dating scene or you just haven't dated for a while. A guy needs to go through a series of subconscious steps with you to make you feel comfortable with him. Now, ways that men think they should be doing this is by self-disclosure. What do I mean by self-disclosure? A lot of times guys will bulldoze you with a lot of personal information about themselves because they feel the more that they self-disclose to you, the more that you'll be comfortable with them. And that isn't necessarily true. It's very easy for anybody to just load you up with a whole bunch of information about themselves. And what we are really looking for is the furtherance of that. We want a guy asking you questions about you and get you talking about yourself. Now, if you're in a place where you feel comfortable talking about your personal history, talking about stories about your childhood and that type of thing, when you're in that place with a man, that is your intuition telling you that you feel comfortable enough self-disclosing to him, okay? And that's really the key ingredient. When you feel that you can talk about yourself, you're probably in a place where the man has created that space with you where you feel comfortable in having that exchange. Therefore, he's making an effort with you to build trust. So now the sixth thing I want to discuss is he hasn't earned it. He hasn't earned it, and you know it. Now, there are plenty of circumstances where we're sexually attracted to someone, and we know that they're not putting in a lot of effort at all. But again, that sexual attraction is a powerful thing. And if people understand attraction, and in this case, we're talking about men, and they know how to use their looks and their charm to get you into a comfortable place where you can get physical with them, go to bed with them, have sex with them, then, again, if we're thinking fling, that's fine. If we're not, we need to catch ourselves because we can go along that path a little too quickly and not even realize it. So again, this is a conscious process, but you're gonna know deep down in your heart if a guy has earned it, all right? Has he put in the time to initiate those texts with you, to set up dates to actually see you, okay? This is gonna be very difficult for a man who lives in another state or another country with a long distance relationship. Although there are ways that men can exert effort in those cases, but we're specifically talking about men that are locally to you. If he hasn't earned it, if you know he's probably talking to 5 other women and probably putting in more effort with them than he is with you, then why give him that chance? Why give him that chance to take you home and take you to his bedroom? You're just not gonna do that. So really go with your gut, really go with your intuition, and just don't put yourself in a position too soon where all of a sudden you're like, wow, I'm in this guy's bedroom. How did I get here? I guess I have to go along with this now because I've kind of set myself up for it. Make that conscious decision right now that you will no longer do that, because I guarantee you if you can get past this hurdle, and it is a hurdle, having sex too soon with men, I guarantee you your longevity and your chances at a longer term relationship with a man are going to skyrocket because he's gonna see that you have self-control. He's gonna see that you have boundaries, and those are immensely attractive to men that are just getting to know you. So if you are interested in one-on-one Zoom sessions with me and you want that sweet $50 discount, I need 250 comments below that say, give me 50, Ryan. And if I get that 250 and you go to boyfriendblueprint.com/session, give me your first name and best email address, I will send you an email letting you know that I have a slot available for you with that discount. So just leave those comments below. I look forward to reading any other comments that you all have. I'm getting better at responding back in my travels to a lot of the YouTube comments, just getting back in that flow. And as always, I appreciate you stopping by today, and I'll see you next week.